Welcome back to Oswego Now. I'm Hunter Truman with your weekly sports report. Starting off on the diamond, Major League Baseball is in full swing here in the month of April. Fortunately for many fans living in New York, their teams are both doing quite well. In the AL, the Yankees are in a tough division with the likes of the Blue Jays and Rays. However, they currently sit at 13-6 and are narrowly leading the AL East. This is coming from the hot bats of both Aaron Judge as well as Anthony Rizzo, who combined for 41 hits and 29 RBIs in their first 19 games. There's been help from the mound, too, as starting pitcher Nestor Cortez leads the team in strikeouts with 25 and has an ERA of 1.15. Now, moving over to Queens, the New York Mets are sitting comfortably with a NL East, in the NL East with a 3-game lead over the Miami Marlins with their record of 14-6. Their trio, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, and Starling Marte, have been keeping their offense going with 9 home runs and 44 RBIs between the three of them. Even with their starting pitcher Jacob deGrom out with injury, newly acquired Max Scherzer has been taking the helm as the Mets' #1. He leads the team with 3 wins, a 1.80 ERA, and 33 strikeouts in the 4 games that he has started. Of course, we've still got a long way to go before the end of the season, but there is no doubt that it's been a very good April for both baseball teams in New York. Moving now from one league that's in season to one in the middle of their off season, the NFL had the biggest draft night that happened just last night. The biggest question before the festivities began was, who's going to be the first overall pick? With many split on both defensive ends, Aiden Hutchinson and Trayvon Walker, there was no word on who the Jaguars would pick. However, Walker would end up being the first selection as he will make his way from the national champions of Georgia down to Jacksonville to play alongside last year's #1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence. Hutchinson would end up going #2 as he will make his way to Detroit to play for second-year head coach Dan Campbell and the Lions. New York had a big presence last night as well, with the Giants having 2 picks in the top 10. The 5th pick, they chose defensive end Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon, and with the 7th pick, they chose offensive tackle Evan Neal from Alabama, both players who will make immediate impacts for the Big Blue. For those in green, the Jets ended up having 3 picks in their first round, including cornerback Ahmad Gardner from Cincinnati and wide receiver Garrett Wilson from Ohio State and defensive end Jermaine Johnson II out of Florida State. All these positions meeting their needs after a lackluster 4-13 season last year. The draft is set to continue tonight at 7 with rounds 2 and 3 taking center stage. The SUNY Oswego men's lacrosse team are looking to make the playoffs. But what do they need to do to accomplish that? Well, they need to win. The men's team is going to face SUNY Brockport, which currently has a 9-4 record. The last time Oswego faced Brockport was last season, where the Golden Eagles won both games. And the last time Brockport played was when they lost to SUNY Geneseo 14-6 last Tuesday. Oswego's record is 8-5 on the season, but the Lakers have been on a 3-game losing streak. The last time Oswego played was when they faced Cortland at home on Wednesday, and they lost 16-12. Now let's take it over to the women's side. Oswego will face Plattsburgh on Saturday. Cardinals currently sit at 5-8, and they last played against SUNY New Paltz on Wednesday, where they got the win 12-9. The Oswego women's lacrosse team is currently 5-10 on the season with their last game against SUNY Brockport, where they lost 16-5 on Wednesday. Last time Oswego played Plattsburgh was all the way back in 2019 when Oswego won 23-4. Now, if you want to watch both Oswego lacrosse teams, the men's team will play tonight in a win-or-take-all game at 7, and the women are set to go tomorrow at noon here as well. Both games will be covered by SUNY Oswego student-ran WTOP 10 and WNYO. Now over to Landon with your good news now.